Might help if I put the headphones on. Ah, they're all tangled. Damn it. As usual, I am 100% prepared for these streams. But at least I'm prepared enough to do this.
Open for business. Strangers in the night, exchanging glances.
Thanks Roku MH for the follow. That was the person who hopped in on my Gen U stream on Monday. And now we're back to something I've been meaning to get back to for quite some time. Let's see if I can remember how to play this game. If I remember correctly, I was going for a character that just lies his way through everything, but beyond that, I can't remember what I was doing. I would go on this for between half hour and an hour, and then switch over to something else. Because I have a couple of things I want to get to. Continuing this is just one of those. Come to think of it. Okay, I'm pretty sure I was back in town. Because I ran around and did the sniping and shit before. Okay, definitely didn't mean to do that. This is precisely why I'm aiming at the sky.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
Alright. I need to look at that journal, because I do not remember anything I was doing. I love that there's a botched category. Yeah, it was some load time, but I mean, if that cuts down on the load times the rest of the way, then I'll be okay with it. I'll do the grave matter one.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you. Shit. Silas still on about that? Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property.
Some airplane level
What Eugene
wordplay
did to
going on.
himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
Thank you, Zero Master, for 8 months of Tier 1 subscription. Space Fallout before Starfield PogChamp. What's Starfield PogChamp? Is that a spinoff I'm not familiar with? Alright, I stopped paying attention to the conversation, damn it.
Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Is this the part where everyone starts muttering the greater good? You know, I didn't know, just in the current day and age, that I would very quickly read a document about people coming to work sick. Let's move past that. Because this is supposed to be escapism.
Abernathy's chipper today. Guess he wasn't.
Merciful law. Is that a marauder's outfit? I don't want you wandering into my shop wearing something you've lifted off a corpse. Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs.
Yeah, we may end up switching games faster than I thought.
Recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Oh, that's tempting, but I'm not going to do that.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment.
Please don't clip any of this.
Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality. It's what a barber does. We make you presentable. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Spitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Edgewater is built on the discipline and sacrifice of its people. Say what you will about our town, but we all pull together. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
Now can I just talk to him
What can I do
again?
for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us.
Oh, meanwhile in Iceborne.
Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours. Edgewater has been good to me. I consider myself privileged to work here. I am never wanting for work, not since the plague started. As the good vicar says, work fortifies the spirit of a man. If you want to feel exhausted, try not having any work.
Alright, so I'm guessing I will have to go back and tell Silas about that.
Wish we had some better rations.
I keep getting myself turned around with these different points on the radar. Oh, excuse me.
Almost lost a finger.
Alright, might as well just head outside for a little bit. If I switch to Iceborne, you're down. We'll see where the evening goes. I know one thing for sure I want to play that's not Iceborne right after this. Just because I've had it for a bit, and I didn't even take it out of the shrink wrap until recently.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had. You run into any trouble? Conrad's barbershop is a yawning pit that swallows his every bit. I keep telling him he should cut a few corners. Skimp out on the disinfectant. You gotta put the squeeze on Conrad. Find some dirt on him. Maybe check his back room. That's the word, extortion. Been on the tip of my tongue all day.
Oh, wait, Zero. If you're talking about Iceborne, I assume you're talking PS4, not PC? Because I intended this to be like all PS4.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about. Firing at the birds. Orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
I'll be the one switching on the EMP.
I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. Mechanical repellent. A stroke of inspiration from the law itself. Here, I've been saving up a couple bits for just such a project. Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you. Scanning you with its murderous oculars. Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
I'll just leave him to his own devices. Okay, what else do I have to do for this task? Right, I gotta get some dirt on Conrad. Hyper-capitalist future? This ain't no capitalist future.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna...
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Uh-huh. I see.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How?
Well, you let me walk in and read the note about it, but...
You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I? Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Okay, hopefully that will mean this side quest is done. And then I can do productive things. Like... Oh wait, I wasn't doing productive things before either. Not looking forward to fighting that thing. If I have to fight that thing.
Something I can do for you? Yeah? What about him? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead. Let me know if you find anything. Yeah? Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Couldn't tell you. No, I mean, I'm contractually prohibited from saying anything that might reflect poorly on Spacer's choice. Ah, avoid it. Shouldn't have said that either. Look, forget I said anything. Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for marauders by the finger. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
Okay, so... Wait, let me just check to make sure there aren't dialogue
Something
options I
can do for
missed.
You? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
There we go. Okay, I am definitely going to want to improve some of my weapons. Always dumping shit into the dialogue things. Oh? I see. I will have to make use of that. Assuming I remember it. Okay, let's see. You know, I think I'm going to go for... Pack Mule. Because there were a couple times earlier when I was having a little trouble carrying some shit around. Okay, that one's done. Okay, I gotta go check with Thompson. Oh, how you doing, Ninja Star? Oh, thanks for the compliment. Pretty much as soon as I got that in my home, I realized it would be like April Fool's material. Just say I'm doing Jet Set Radio, but not specify the platform. You didn't know it existed? A decent amount of people didn't know it existed. I mean, it came out a while ago when shit like slot machines based around popular franchises wasn't necessarily as widely covered.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I must say, wearing a Marauder's outfit is in
Was there a story around getting it or
I do
not?
wish you'd show your
Yes.
uniform a little more respect.
So, sorry, I'm trying to explain that and keep up with the dialogue here.
Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been
So,
a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
I will often peruse like Japanese auction sites, particularly stuff like Yahoo Auction. I'll go around Rakuten, hobby sites of various kinds, and just see what's there. I originally did it for
Only regulator we got is
Bloody
the
Roar
town
merchandise.
transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
So
I beg your
I started
pardon.
looking for
I'm
other
most
things,
emphatically not
and I
keen
looked
on
up some
any
Jet Set
such
Radio
thing.
stuff.
I can't let you have our
So,
power regulator.
I would frequently see
I happen to know of another one. And I happen to
what
know
they're called
exactly how you
Pachistalta
may retrieve
machines.
it without frying yourself in the process.
But the thing is, I like looked up how big they are because it's hard to tell from the pictures like what the size is, particularly the ones that just use stock pictures.
Oh yes.
And I
Saw
realized
someone put
these things were
his hand on the
fucking
regulator
huge.
while the power was running.
And even if I
His
could
legs were still
like afford the
twitching
buy it
when
now
they
prices
buried
for
him.
some of them, the
There's
shipping would
power
be
regulator in the old
ridiculous.
mechanical lab. It's mostly abandoned.
Also,
so
a lot of
all
them
that
won't
power
ship
is being
outside of
squandered.
Japan, so you have to
Go
use a
down to the
courier
geothermal
that's
plant.
based in
We
Japan
route
to
power
ship
from
it
the botanical
overseas,
district
which
over
makes it
to
even
the
more
plant.
expensive.
Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
So, it was sometime in the winter a few years ago. And I can't remember whether I mentioned it or not
I was not entirely sure.
to the RCG
The
guys.
botanical labs are
But
not
one
legally
day,
accredited,
Blonde Guy
but
Gamer
there are
texted
people
me
who
saying,
live there.
like, you're not going to believe what just showed up at one of my local pawn shops. And I verified that it was the same Jet Set Radio slot machines from before. And I'm like, oh my god, well, how much does it cost? So we went back and found out, and considering that it was priced in Canadian, it was actually a decent deal. Even more decent, I could just load it into my car and drive it home. I wouldn't have to pay shipping at all.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly
So
child, you will
I
do
say,
them a kindness.
fuck it, and I wire him the money.
Living in the
He
botanical
buys it,
labs.
holds it as his
They're
home,
deserters,
and then
former workers. I
Anime
need
North
them
comes
back at
around,
their
and on the way
posts.
back,
I need
we
them
always stop at his
to come
place, so
home.
I got it there, loaded it into the car, and drove it home. Oh, that last one is tempting, but
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then
game
we will
franchises
all
always have
perish
weird,
separately.
obscure things like that.
Adelaide will
Yeah,
understand that.
I'm surprised the kind of things I have found for Bloody Roar in particular. No slot machines, mind you, but other stuff.
my dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Oh, do we take Parvati with us or go it alone? I'm tempted to go it alone. You know what? If I do any backdoor shady deals, I don't want Parvati there watching, so I'll go it alone.
Are you sure? I imagine Miss Holcomb will make a reliable companion. She knows her way around the Vale.
Oh, sure. I mean, you got your own business and all, so I'm sure you... Sorry. I'll just be in my garage, fixing stuff. Like I do.
You may find Miss Holcomb at her garage once she and I are done talking. I want you to know I appreciate what you're doing for us, even if you are a stranger. Best of luck to you. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, feeding into the mechanism.
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Super Monkey Ball had a flip phone game. I feel like I've heard about that before. Actually, you know what? Let's do this first. There. Because I'm fairly certain this is where I ran through before when I came across some marauders. Actually, yeah, that's the rocks where I sniped guys down here. I don't think I actually explored this. Oh shit. Path is not as clear as I thought it was. See, this is precisely why I saved back there. Now I know. Was that the house they came out of? Shit, I lost track. Oh yeah, I can see them moving around. Let's try... Got him. Shit, I missed. Okay, let's just go for the big bada boom on this guy. Assuming he goes for that door. May just have to end up clearing these things out on a building by building basis. I'm taking all the space stuff. Because you never know when you're going to need space fillets. Or fillet. Bag picks, I definitely need those. Oh, well, at least I have a place to sleep now. Public vendor competition? Yeah. Monkey Ball kind of lends itself towards that, to be fair. That door looks ominous. And lots of these guys wielding sabers. Oh, this is the nice shit. It pays to have lockpick. Absolutely. Plasma rifle. Pet pills. I hope they're trucker's choice. Alright, that was surprisingly productive, just wiping out the people in this home. Okay, since this seems like a decent stopping point, I'm gonna go ahead, back out of this, and then fire up another game.